Hi everyone. First of all, thank you so much for your support and love that you guys have been pouring to Print and Pack Perspective. It really means a lot to us. So definitely we will be, keep supporting us. We will be sharing the content related to the print and packaging industry. So today we are here at Flexo Summit Asia, which is organized by Reinvision Events. And here we are having the best veterans of the Flexo industry, packaging industry, printing industry. So which is the best opportunity for us to fetch the great minds and the great perspectives to you. So today, without any ado, we have Mr. Richard Birch. And Mr. Richard Birch is the Product and Applications Manager from Northern Europe, from
right.
the Flint Group. So today we are also getting the perspective from Europe, India, and his views. So, let's begin. So, welcome to the Print and Pack Perspective show, sir. So, let's talk about the entire industry. The next competitive advantage of the flexo industry or the printing industry. So, the 10 years ago, it was print quality, which people, they felt that was very much important.
Yep.
And today, when we talk about it, it's sustainability. 10 years from now, so 10 years ago, it was print quality. Now it's sustainability. So what is it 10 years from now? And what do you think will define the world's best converters?
Thank you. Good, easy question to start with.
Yeah.
Sustainability will still be key focused,
Okay.
I think. We did start talking about 5 years ago, maybe even longer, and we're still talking about it now. We'll be talking about it at this event today. But I think it's all about the converter being adaptable to the market, adaptable to what the consumer requires, adaptable to the future. So working not only with where we're at now, but maybe looking to more online things, more commerce, more digital. But it's more about how the converter can adapt quickly to the consumer needs, the consumer requirements, and obviously legislation that's going to be paramount going forward.
So 10 years from now is more about adaptability and customization.
Yes.
So we can definitely get that as a statement that...
I would think so. Absolutely, yes.
So it is out there, guys. Mr. Richard thinks
That's a
it's
start.
adaptability and indeed the customization is what's going to be for 10 years from now. Amazing. So since you're here in India, namaste.
Again, namaste.
So if you were advising an Indian converter that wants to become a preferred supplier for a global brands. So since, we can have the perspective from the global brands as well. So what is it that you're gonna, advise them, and what is the first capability would you ask them to invest?
Other than a Flexo press, because we're at a Flexo summit, I would say they have to invest into sustainability.
Okay.
So obviously with legislation, so with things like the PPWR, the EPB, just making sure that we are in a position of being able to promote the industry in the consumer's eyes. So at the moment we have negative press. Therefore, if we understand what is required for the consumer from an environmental point of view, so that means either investing in different substrates, investing in different ways we supply to the consumer, and then understanding the legislation that's coming through. So things like India will have to understand things like the German ink ordinance, the Swiss ordinance, because we all have to conform to this kind of packaging. If India wants to be able to promote itself and start supplying into these other areas, then they will have to conform to these kind of legislations that are coming through, because they are quite tight and quite strict. So that's why I would start with sustainability, and also working on understanding the legislation that's going forward within Europe, North America, and other places.
So sustainability stays on the longer run, and also understand everything that's out there, the legislations, the rules, the licenses, and then you can definitely get the global market.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
So since we're getting the perspectives from the across the region, and I'm so much believing that you're from Europe, and you must have had the exposure beyond Europe as well. So which parts of the region excites, or they're showing this excitement, and where exactly the most innovation things are happening?
So I would possibly be a little bit biased and say Europe, because that's where I spend most of my time, and that's where I'm seeing most of the innovations going forward. But It's also the wrong thing to say, because a lot of the innovations that I'm seeing in Europe, the barrier coatings that are coming in for sustainability reasons,
Okay.
the actual raw materials are being developed in somewhere like India, Asia, and things like that, and they are coming into Europe for us then to process those into what we are now selling to the converters in Europe.
Okay.
Barrier coatings is definitely going to be the focus over the next few years, because we're looking at taking complication out of structures, and also we're looking at it from a recycling point of view.
Okay. So, but still, so if you had to choose, apart from Europe, so which country would it be where you're seeing this amount of excitement? Let's say second list.
I think it's got to be India.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is my second time here, and I've had the privilege of going to several converters, and to see the difference even in a year, the growth and the acceptance of what's happening is incredible.
Awesome. Awesome. That shows a lot of potential that
Yes.
even India is growing well, and definitely,
Definitely.
the countries across, global brands would also be seeing this market as a very potential one.
Absolutely, yes.
So let's do a quick one-word quiz. So
dear.
if you had to define the print and pack perspective, or the print and packaging industry in one word, which is in a difficult position, I suppose.
It's ever-changing. Is that a good word? Ever-changing, and it is.
Absolutely, it is ever changing. Definitely, can
It'll
you?
be different tomorrow as it is today.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much, Mr. Richard. That was so good talking to you about the perspectives from Europe and you and Flint.
Yep.
So, that is this episode with Mr. Richard, and he had shared an incredible insights about how the global standards are and how actually India is a very potential market, and also how the sustainability is the only thing that's going to run in a long time. So, definitely, signing off until the second episode.